Well, I finally arrived down at my swim and I'm just setting the rods up quite far back from the river's edge there, because the area that I'm actually fishing, you won't be able to see it perfectly from, I'm hiding behind this bush if you like. It's quite shallow, as I said before. It's only 4 foot deep, maybe 4.5 foot deep. So I'm doing the bulk of my setting up here and then creeping down the bank, and then I'll set everything in place. But got talking to a couple of lovely people as I walk down here. It's just great to be able to meet like-minded people, fishermen and bird watchers and just wildlife spotters, people who love the rivers. And it's so nice to get speaking to them people. Big shout going out to Dave Hope, who's also an ex-sailor like myself. So it was nice having a good catch up and talking about old times in the Navy with him, and also he loves his fishing. So I'll be checking his Instagram out very soon. And then I met two lovely people, a lovely couple, a pastor of a local church here, Philwood Free Methodist Church. So that was really nice. Big shout going out to you, Andy, as well. And he knows a few places over in Northern Ireland where I'm from as well. So we just got talking a lot now. That's taken me into probably got another 2 hours of light now. What time have we got now? It's 10 to 9, not set up quite yet. So we'll probably be in the water all in, probably 9:15 here. And I've seen the barn owl on the way down. I was just talking to Dave, and this lovely barn owl comes right up past us, and I managed to capture it as it flew up the bank like this. And as I'm talking to the couple from Philwood Free Methodist, what happens again? I spotted it again. Second time I didn't get it on camera, and it flew across the river and just went in between them trees over there. So absolutely gorgeous. I've seen fish rising left, right and centre. Absolutely beautiful. I've not seen any rises around my area yet. Now, I suspect that the fish that are in this area, there's some bedrock here and some bedrock here. So I've probably got about the area of maybe about 30 yards here where it's quite a sandy red bottom, but there's bedrock sort of surrounding both sides and on the far bank as well. It's got a bit of a shingle bay here, and then it just slopes gently down to about 4 foot deep. There's a bit of a dark vein in the middle. I'm going to see if I can get these fish. I think they're underneath that bedrock because there's actually a pronounced lip, and I think the fish actually are underneath that lip in the daylight and they come out at night. So that's my theory anyway. So let's put it into practice. Get these rods creep down quiet as possible, and I just love it. This is my light setup. This is only a 1 pound 0.5 test curve rod, so 1.5 test curve. Lovely brand new rod, haven't used this yet. Got a few little items for my birthday there, so I got to treat it myself. So, and that's paired up with a mini bait runner there, so that's what I'm going to be using on my light upstream rod. And I'm not using the quiver tip section, I'm actually using the Avon section, but it's quite light. It's just how I like it. And then that comes down, and this is on both rods, to a little quick change bead, and also I've got a little running link on there. I'll just attach the feeder to that, and that's it. And I'll just attach the hook length to that. I'm going to be fishing with a 3 foot long hook length on both rods. Braid, which has been, the hook coating's been stripped completely off. I'm actually going to be fishing a large pellet on one rod and a smaller pellet on the other. And I've made this concoction of all different types of flavours and pellets and ground bait all mixed together, a bit like a method mix, but that's just going to go in the feeder. I'm not going to do a lot of casting, as I'm fishing an area that the fish are, I know they'll be hiding, and if I make too much noise, then fish are going to be gone. So I don't plan on casting too many times tonight, so I might just cast them in, and because I'm fishing close in, I might be able to actually ball some of that bait in as well. But what a magical night. Now the rod on the left, I've kept that really low because I'm backleading that rod. The rod on the right and keeping it up in the air because there was a lot of weight coming down before, so I'm just keeping it up quite high. And just leave that run. Oh, right hand rod, yeah. This is the very first fish of the season, if you don't count the eel. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. A beautiful little dace. Absolutely fin perfect. Can't go wrong with that, can you? Let's get it back in the river. Well guys, that was exciting, very exciting start. It's now 10:15 and I've still got my sunglasses on. Can you believe that? And I can still see perfectly. I've actually put the little light on just in front of me here just to give me a bit of extra illumination, just to let you know what's been happening. So anyway, I had that lovely little dace, and then as I was putting the new hook on, as I was putting the new pellet on, my left hand rod bounced off and it took about a yard of line out. Didn't have time to strike into it, but then it stopped. Because I'm fishing so shallow here, I'm not even going to bring it in. I'm just going to leave it in the same position. I suspect that one of them big fish, because there's been some huge fish just rising out of the water, must be taking fly. Big barbel. So I'm assuming one of them actually just had a line bite and that's all it was. Our right hand rod's going, get little knocks on it. Let's see if I can switch the camera around to show you. So I'm sitting in a really nice place here. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm a little bit further from the track as well, so I've not got any problems with people walking past disturbing me tonight. It's just going to be me down here on the river and watching the wildlife. And oh, wee rise just to the left of my rods there, just out of the screen. Plenty of fish around this area. I've definitely chose the right area anyway. And I came down to accomplish something, to catch one fish. And as I'm still setting up, I'm catching already. So that one little fish is mission accomplished already, and I'm happy. And I've seen barn owls, I've spoke to some lovely people. I've seen fish rising right out of the water. So that's me really happy now. I mean, if I don't catch another fish, I will be absolutely ecstatic knowing that I've just come down and I've caught a fish. But I know there's more fish here, and I can see these rods bouncing off all night, and I'm looking forward to, it's 10 o'clock nearly now, but that first hour of darkness should be quite productive, but also the first couple of hours of light, so from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, that's going to be a magic time. Just when you hear that dawn chorus and that sun coming up over the trees, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I might just winkle one or two fish out then, and hopefully I'll be finished by about 6 o'clock this morning, and I'll be packing up and walking up home a happy man. Let's just see what happens. So here we have fish number 2, and it's a lovely chub. So not going to waste any time, going to get it straight back in the river above where it belongs. It's a lovely fish, a welcome fish. That's 2, a little dace, and now a lovely chub. Let's see if we can get a barbel. Have a trilogy of different fish. What an absolute beautiful chub. This is what I come down for really. I was really after a decent sized fish tonight, so can't get more decent than that, can I? It's a nice big fish, isn't it? I could catch these all night. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, let's get it slipped back into the ribble. What a lovely fish. Well, I've just had another chub. I've only just chucked that rod out and literally just unhooked it straight away. Didn't even have a chance to sit down. Cast it in and I'm into another chub now. If I called that a small chub, would you laugh at me? Because that is a considerably smaller chub than the last one. That's probably only about maybe 3.5 pound, 4 pound. That last one I had was 5 and just under a half, so a 5.5 pound chub. And then straight after, same rod, have another one. Isn't that a gorgeous fish? But this one, like I said, it's nowhere near. Maybe this one's just maybe approaching maybe 4 mark. This one I'd say is probably approaching about the 4 pound mark. So not a small fish, but not a big fish compared to the last one. So I don't need to weigh this one. I know it's a lot smaller. And I don't need to take a picture, but here I've just made a wee video. Kind of slip this one back into the ribble where she belongs. Isn't she gorgeous? Hardly a fin wrong on her, look. Absolutely beautiful. Whenever I catch a fish, I always check the fins, always check the tail, always have a good look at it. It's beautiful. Have a look in its mouth. Gorgeous. And then flip it over and just have a quick look on the other side. Isn't that gorgeous? And there we have another gorgeous river ribble chub. A 4 pound chub, second one of the night. Biggest was 5, 6. So I've had a 5 pound, 6 ounce chub, a couple of 4 pounders, a real small one and a small dace. Can't go wrong with that, can you? This is great. And it's just starting to go light and I've got an owl hooting away in the trees behind me. Doesn't get much better than this. Let's get this one back and see if we can get a barbel. This is what it's all about. Being out at this time in the morning, just when that golden sunrise comes up, you just see the mist coming off the water. It's beautiful. And then your rod bends over and you're playing a fish. It's the icing on the cake. And that water, it's like bath water, it's that warm. Is it any wonder why the fish have been feeding? And boy have they been feeding. I've had a great night. Started off with just a wee small dace, then had a wee small chub, Then I had an almighty massive chub, £5.7. It was actually come up as £5, 5.42 pounds on my digital scales. So when I did the conversion, it was 5.675. So I round that up to the closest. So it's 5.7, just under 5.5. A beautiful fish. And then I had two £4 chub, one after the other after that. So it's at 4 chub and a dace. And the rods have been bouncing all night. At times, them chub were just coming one after the other every time I put the rod in. It wasn't long before it was zipping off again. Well, the sun is well and truly up now, so I think it's about time I started packing up and got up home. Thank you very much for watching. Well, it's a different day, so I've come back down to the wee spot that had all those lovely chub. Do you remember I had the wee days and a couple more chub, and one of them chub was £5, 7 ounces. So I've come back down to try and get myself another one of those lovely chub. So I'm actually going to be fishing for the barbel and the chub, fishing 2 rods. I'm fishing with a 1.5 test curve rod, a £2 test curve rod, which is going to be this rod here, which is my upstream rod. Now, wouldn't it be special to get myself a nice big roach again like I did the other day? That was fantastic, that lovely, I'd say it was about the £2 mark, didn't weigh it. I'm not really going to weigh all my fish this season. I've decided that, you know, fish welfare in mind, I'm going to just weigh fish that I think are worth weighing, wherever you weigh them. So that's probably only going to be a small percentage of the fish I catch. I'm going to get down to the river's edge, cast this in, and then hopefully in the next about an hour it'll be dark and I'll start getting bites. So I've come at the right time, perfect timing. The witching hour is just upon us. It's only around the corner and I cannot wait to get this rod in. Sitting behind them rods, waiting for that rod tip to slam over. I just love this river. Happy days. Well, I can't believe that. I was just casting the downstream. Oh, did you see that rise? That fish come right up out of the water. Fantastic. I was just putting that fish back. I was just casting that rod out there and I noticed that my rod was banging over. So I quickly lifted into it and I just caught a lovely, lovely chub. And you want to see the colours in this lovely chub. Fantastic. Not a monster, but absolutely, I know they say this a lot, fin perfect, but this fish, it was mint. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll give you a wee look at her just as I'm returning her back to the ribble, so you can just appreciate the beauty of her, because she's an absolute gorgeous fish. Happy days. It's been resting in the net. It's going to be quite lively, but I'm going to go get it now. Look at that lovely little wagtail. Beautiful. The place is full of wildlife, it really is. Well, this chub is absolute beautiful, and it is full of life, as you'll see. So here we go, absolutely gorgeous. I'll just rest her on the net here, and wait do you see this absolute beautiful fish. Look at that. Isn't that just a corker? It really is. It looks almost pewter-like. An absolute beautiful river ribble chub. Full of life and full of beauty. Isn't it gorgeous? Time to slip it back. I wouldn't mind a few more of these, I tell you that. I can't believe this. This fish has took this on the drop. I can't believe this. Didn't even get a chance to put it back in the rod rest. Ooh, and it's sailed over. And it's probably going to find about every snag in the river because I cast it right in the hole. There's some bedrock on one side, bedrock on the other, a big deep pool, and the fish can go under it. So, oh, I've got it out. Ooh, this feels like a decent chub. If this isn't a decent chub, it's a small barbel, but I think it's the first. I think it's a decent chub. Yeah, it's coming in too easily for a barbel, for my liking. Right, I'm going to have to get down close to the water for this one. Yeah, he's going for the roots of the tree. Classic sign that it's a chub. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. And you know what? Oh, it's a beautiful fish. Absolutely beautiful fish. And it's not even a monster either. But you want to see the colour in it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It was using the current there, you see, against me. And it felt a lot bigger. But we're fishing quite shallow water here. There's a deeper pool. But there's snags to the left, snags to the right. It's like Jurassic Park, it really is around here. And it's only a little chub, but it pulled me left, it pulled me right, it went for the tree roots there. All over the river it's took me. And it's great. And I'll just walk it upstream gently. Gently walk it upstream, and it's only a little chub, but you want to see the colours on it. I just love catching chub. When you get chub of this standard, it really doesn't matter what size they are. It's always nice to get one of the monsters, but this is gorgeous. The colours of it, absolutely beautiful. Come on, baby, I only want to see you. Have a wee look and slip you straight back where you belong. Does not like that net, and it's in. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that feed, it's still in the feeder, can you believe that? Nothing's come out. That feed, still got all the feed still in it. Unbelievable. Instant fishing. Fantastic. Oh, you want to see the colours of the fins on this fish. Beautiful orangey pinks. Absolutely gorgeous. Silver pewter going down its flank. Lovely. I'm going to take the hook out, leave it to rest in the net a bit, compose myself, then bring it up and show you. Happy days. Well, it's going to be one of them nights. That's a couple of chub instant. All coming to this rod. I'm beginning to think I should only be fishing with one rod because it's going to be one of them nights. Look at that. Look at the feed. I've only just cast that out, look. And the feeder, still full of feed. Didn't even have a chance to hit the bottom, and that chub nailed it. Nailed it. Here we go. I'm going to cast this back out, and then I'm going to bring that lovely chub up just to show you, because it's a gorgeous fish. Not a monster, like I said, but absolutely beautiful. Just cap it off ever so slightly with a little bit of feed. Let's have a look. I actually think it's the pace that they're loving, because that pace seems to bring them on instantly, like. There we go. Right, I'm going to cast this in the exact same spot again. And in order to cast this into the spot, there's a pool on the opposite, well, it's past midway. You've got to get it right in that pool. So I'm going to have to get down close to the water to get this in, and then come back onto the bank, and then we'll have a look at that fish. Perfect, let's get it in. Fantastic. Let's set down the net there, and I'll give you one look at her. Look at that. Just look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Just look at those orange fins. Does it get much more beautiful than that? Look, that is absolutely beautiful. Fantastic. You made my night, I'm telling you, and they're rising left, right and centre. Oh, I just love this river. That is beautiful. Okay, let's try and get another one. Happy days. I've actually got a fish still on this downstream rod, and what happened actually was the fish went right underneath the bedrock. So I've just let it down the rest once more. I've done this once already, and I thought I was winning the fight, but no, managed to get back down. It's a big fish. Managed to get back down under the bedrock, so I've just rested it for a while, and I'm going to see if I can coax it back out. So I'm going to give it some line here. Yeah, that fish is still on. Beautiful. So there you have it. It's wonderful to be into these big river ribble barbel once more. Beautiful fish. First double of the season. First double since the COVID-19. Big chunky fish, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful fish. Lovely. Thank you very much for making my day. Happy days. Well, that concludes another wonderful, successful night. It's been a great night. I just love coming down at dusk. Just as that sun's going down, the fish start waking up. And if you're very lucky, you'll catch one or two of them. And I've been very lucky tonight, and I've had 3. I'm not one of these anglers that likes to stay out long. If I can get 1 or 2 fish, usually that's enough to satisfy me and I'm away up home. So after having the 2 chub, I was more than happy. But to get that barbel as well, wow, absolutely fantastic.